Welcome once again to Commander by Dina. For today's video, I wanted to continue to look at the new legendary pairings from March of the Machine. As I'm sure you've gleaned from the video's title and thumbnail, today we'll be building a deck around Zimone and Dina. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Zimone and Dina are a 3-mana, 3/4 legendary human dryad. Whenever we draw our second card each turn, target opponent loses 2 life and we gain 2 life. Additionally, we may tap Zimone and Dina and sacrifice another creature. If we do, we draw a card. We may then put a land card from our hand onto the battlefield. If we control 8 or more lands, we repeat this process. Longtime viewers of this channel will know that I love Aristocrat and Spellslinger decks. So today we'll be making another Aristocrats deck. But it's nice to have something a little different in the command zone rather than just a sacrifice outlet or doubling up all of our death triggers. Zimone and Dina also help us put the extra lands onto the battlefield, so I figured we could go with a Landfall Aristocrats deck this time around. Now, Aristocrat decks have 3 moving parts. You need sacrifice outlets, creatures to sacrifice, and payoffs for sacrificing them. On top of that, we want to ensure our deck meets our checklist to ensure we actually get to play Commander instead of just having a pile of cards. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Opulent Palace, Verdant Catacombs, Misty Rainforest, Polluted Delta, Marsh Flats, Windswept Heath, Scalding Tarn, Zagoth Triome, Overgrown Tomb, Breeding Pool, Watery Grave, Undergrowth Stadium, Rejuvenating Springs, Morphic Pool, Haunted Mire, Tangled Islet, Contaminated Aquifer, Golgari Rot Farm, Simic Growth Chamber, Demir Aqueduct, Bajuka Bog, Field of the Dead, 4 swamps, 5 forests, and 3 islands. Sakura Tribe Elder, Pitiless Plunderer, and Solemn Simulacrum all work very well with our deck strategy. For playing extra lands each turn, we've got Burgeoning, Exploration, 3 Visits, Farseek, Rampant Growth, Nature's Lore, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, and Wood Elves. Finally, Soul Ring and Arcane Signet make up our mana rocks. Tachyova Benthic Druid, Bouldervine Reclamation, Shieldred Whispering One, Kel's Fight Fixer, Victimize, Eureka Moment, Zimone Quandrix Prodigy, Urban Evolution, Rhystic Study, Toxroll the Corrosive, Demonic Tutor, and Sidisi Undead Vizier make up our card advantage package. Reclamation Sage, Plague Crafter, Feed the Swarm, Ravenous Chupacabra, Commit Memory, Negate, Assassin's Trophy, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Heroic Intervention, and Ashiok Dreamrender help us to control the board. Cyclonic Rift, and Meathook Massacre both of which double as win conditions under the right circumstances. Visceraseer, Woestrider, and Carrion Feeder allow us to sacrifice our creatures as needed. Zulaport Cutthroat, Blood Artist, Bastion of Remembrance, Sir Conrad the Grim, Vindictive Vampire, Poison Tip Archer, Vron Executioner Thane, and Dina Soul Steeper all help to drain our opponents. Avenger of Zendikar, Greensleeves Morrow Sorcerer, Zendikar's Royal, Spore Mound, Scoot Swarm, and Rampaging Baloths all generate creatures for us to sacrifice or attack with, depending on the situation, while Retreat to Coralhelm works wonders with our commander. Drivnod Carnage Dominus doubles all of our death triggers. Shieldred the Apocalypse and Gataxian Puppeteer both work very well with our commander, increasing the damage we deal whenever we draw cards. Invasion of Innistrad not only destroys pretty much any creature in Magic, it also makes us tokens, as does Chatterfang Squirrel General and Beledros Witherbloom. Finally, a last-minute addition thanks to longtime supporter Jiraiya, Strionic Resonator. Now that we have our deck list, we should compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources, but between 36 lands and 14 pieces of ramp. Right on target. 14 pieces of card advantage, counting our commander. 10 pieces of interaction. 2 board wipes. 3 pieces of graveyard hate in Commit Memory, Ashiok Dreamrender, and Bojuka Bog. 1 sudden I win card in the Meathook Massacre. When you can send that many creatures to the graveyard for just a few mana, it only takes a couple of Aristocrat triggers to end the game. But this deck isn't designed to combo off and win out of nowhere. It takes a lot of setup to get to that point. This is more of a mid-range deck for people who like to grind and think a game of Commander should last about an hour. Now, we have lots of fun combos in the deck, and some of you are wondering why I included bounce lands in the deck. We have a lot of card advantage that cares about lands entering the battlefield, and bounce lands ensure we have lands in hand to play again. A card like Burgeoning loves bounce lands. Speaking of bounce lands, longtime Patreon Muffins was kind enough to point out that a bounce land paired with Field of the Dead, Retreat to Coralhelm, and Zimone and Dina go infinite, provided we have enough lands to trigger Zimone and Dina a second time, and enough differently named lands to trigger Field of the Dead. Of course, that's not the only combo in this deck, and we are running a couple of tutors to find some pieces. I know that several playgroups frown on infinite combos in Commander. After all, this is supposed to be a casual format. But going infinite with 4 cards? Even if one of those pieces is in your command zone, that takes some work to pull off, and is glorious to see. Are you building a Zimone and Dina deck? What about the other paired commanders from March of the Machines? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, there's a link to her Fiverr page below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Dana. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Phoenix of Ice, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Brian, Josh, Sean, Olton, Richard, and Pop Zombie. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Dana. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Dana.